Yayoi Kusama is a Japanese artist who is sometimes called the Princess of Polka Dots. Although she makes lots of different types of art, like paintings, sculptures, performances, and installations, they have one thing in common, and that's dots. When she was 10 years old, she started to draw with the dots with watercolor paint and pastels. She loved drawing and painting, and although her parents didn't want her to be an artist, she was determined. When she didn't have enough money to buy art supplies, she would get sacks and mud and paint that way. In the late 1950s, she moved to New York, where she had the first of many exhibitions there, or displays of her artwork. She inspired a lot of different artists like Andy Warhol and other pop artists of the time. For our project, we're going to be drawing a pumpkin and adding her dot style to it. I painted my pumpkin. I tried it pink, it kind of turned out red, but you can paint your pumpkin whatever you want at the end. For our pumpkin, we're going to start with kind of a frowny face. The one side comes down, curves around, and we do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to end up with a pear shape. Then at the top of that shape, we go up, we curve down and around for our first bump. Same thing on the other side. So it kind of looks like half of a peanut or elephant ears. We're going to do that one more time on each side. So now you're going to have 5 bumps on your pumpkin. Now that you have all 5 bumps, we're going to start with our stem. Sideways oval, a line coming down, and a line going up. So it looks like a letter V. Then we had 2 bumps right behind it. Next, we're going to do the grass. Do the grass, let's make a crazy zigzag line. Whole way across. So once I touch my pumpkin, I'm going to stop and start on the opposite side. Next, let's trace everything, hopefully with a Sharpie. If you don't have a Sharpie and you plan on using watercolor, I would suggest tracing with a black crayon. Next, we're going to start with our dots. First one down your first bump is going to be a larger dot going straight down the middle. Then as we get to the side, you're going to make those large dots close to the lines on your second bump. So very, very close, almost touching. Then on your last bump, you're going to make a semicircle, because as it's wrapping around the pumpkin, you're not going to see that whole big dot, but you will see half of it. So it's like making a letter U or a frowny face and coloring it in. Then we do the same thing on the other side. Remember, the first bump, the circles are close, or the polka dots, and the last bump, they're semicircle. Next, we have medium dots. So in your first bump that we drew, we're going to put medium-sized dots on each side of our large dot. Next, you're going to make the medium dots on your second bump close to your big dots, but we'll just see it on one side. Then, last but not least, your third bump, go ahead and put those medium dots in. Last but not least, we have our little dots. So we have big, middle, little. And we're going to put those right next to our middle dots. Next, let's trace our grass. Next is we're going to paint our pumpkin in. So you can use whatever color you want for your pumpkin. I chose kind of a pinkish red, but I kind of wish I was stuck with orange. It's completely up to you. I also made mine at nighttime.